Welcome, Pramod. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Thanks, Anisha, for that nice description. And thanks for putting me right below Kai. Right, I mean that set up a great context for me right now. Okay, thanks for that. I hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen and hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Awesome. So guys, I'll be talking about pillars of successful digital transformation, and with Kai giving such a huge, description on what can be done, it actually sets up a platform for me and what can be done and what cannot be done. But I'll take a slight different view of how it can be done. Okay, we will not talk about the technologies. We will talk about, what the different personas will go through when a digital transformation journey, and how can they empower, propel your digital transformation journey, right? This, when you go through this route, right, it gives you, it helps you achieve or implement technologies faster, have a greater ROI, and reduce cost drastically. Right. And a brief introduction on Freshworks. Freshworks, we proud ourselves on making softwares that are ridiculously easy to implement and which helps you actually delight your customers. And when we say customers, it's your internal customers, that are employees, as well as your external customers, right? Okay, with that being said, we will delve into a key trends that are going on in the market, very sharp on that. And then we will, see what are the challenges that the boards or the CXOs do face, and then see what exactly the guys who are involved in the digital transformation journey go through. And then give a quick intro, quick sneak peek into our product and how it can help you propel that. Right, diving into the key pillars of transformation, right? What are the marketing trends? What are the trends in the market today? There's obviously a lot of digital transformation acceleration going on post-COVID. The boards, a Gartner report said that the top priority of the boards right now is to actually propel their digital business and also propel their operational excellence using the digital solutions, right? These are the two main focus points for a board to look after. And after this, and by when I say digital transformation focus, we do not mean to say that a steady progress is enough. You need to continuously do it and do it at a very, very fast pace. But at the same time, you have to focus on the employee experience, because when you talk about the transformation journeys, there are a lot of softwares coming on board, and you although it might deliver value externally for your customers, but does it deliver value to your internal customers, right? The guys who are actually day in, day out working out there. So what's the value that you're bringing on the table for him? That should be the focus for you guys when during a digital transformation journey. But does it mean you leave behind the infrastructure reality and only focus on the employees? No, these are something that should be parallel. But our point is, employee experience is something that needs focus right now today, right? While you implement the digital transformation journey. And of course, who doesn't know about this? Today, automation, AI-driven enabled services are something of a buzzword and talk of the town. And I came across an article which said by 2024, right, 20% of the articles manufactured or products manufactured will be first time touched upon by the end user. Till then, it's all automated. Nothing, manual intervention happens when the product is being, manufactured. That's an effect that we need to see, and that's what we see growing later on throughout 2027. And another report said that by 2025, your platform and product teams will be using AI orchestrations to actually drive AI, adoptions within their organizations, right? This is really, really something interesting, that within such a short span of time, right, we are talking about implementing AI. Yes, AI was a buzzword. Yes, automation was a buzzword, but was it actually happening on the ground? I think we are post-COVID. When it hit us, that's when actually AI and automation, started being implemented on the ground. Good. Now coming to the crux of it. Right, I'm pretty sure all the CXOs out there or all the attendees out there would access that how much ever you implement a software, how much ever technologies you bring in, the pillar of success always for a business is its employee and its customer, right? Your customer is delighted, the business runs great, and what enables that? your employee. So you need to keep your employee happy and delighted so that he can, operate adopt to the newer technologies that are coming in and then deliver to your customers. And customer expectations at this point of time are ever changing, right? You have Facebook and Instagram coming in right now, and even the B2B businesses. Till now, it was only the B2C businesses. The B2B businesses also have had to change their viewpoint on reaching out to their customers or finding their customers on their personas and targets. But how do you, because your employees have a wide variety, right? You have digital natives right at the start, and you have people who have been there in the organization and not technically well versed, and probably they will need much more time to adopt. So how do you guys take these two pillars together? Because you cannot focus on customer alone and then leave that the employee will take over. That's something, a disastrous strategy for sure, right? You need to run these both in tandem. So how do we do that, right? And when this comes, when we do that two pillars, the challenge lies in for the CXO whenever he brings in a technology, right? Because when we talk about disruption, when we talk about a new technology coming in and implementing it, obviously there needs to be some kind of an internal alignment that needs to be done, right? When it comes to an internal alignment, if I have to talk about the CXO, especially IT, right? These days it was more on the IT team being more of a support system for your for the other employees and for all the systems out there. But today, the IT has become a strategic partner in the digital transformation journey, right? These guys are the one who is working with the business teams, the sales teams, the after sales teams, take any department for that matter, HR, marketing. These are the guys who are the driving force behind that, right? They have become the partners with all these departments rather than being a siloed application. So the CXOs, the CIOs basically face a bigger challenge. They have to do more with less, right? They cannot disrupt their existing process, but at the same time, they have to keep an eye out for the innovations out there and adapt to it, right? They have to evolve with the needs which are out there, right? Something new tech comes up, they have to either adapt to it, and at the same time, they have to see that the internal disruption is minimal. Obviously, there will be a disruption, but how do your employees adapt to it? How do they actually deal with it? And how do you take it along with the external changes that are going on, right? And evolve into the next gen service management, right? Because when these new things come in, there's obviously going to be roadblocks, there are going to be problems. How do you take them into account? How do you analyze them? How do you actually look at the problem with a bird's eye view, at the same time work on it with with a skilled personnel over there? Who is the department who's looking at? Who's the person skilled at this? So these are some of the things that CIOs will have to look at when they embark or in the middle of the digital transformation journey. Now, how I would like to explore is there are a lot of things that are going on, right? When I talk about a digital transformation journey, I see personas actually driving it rather than the technology being at the forefront, right? The technology is just an enabler for your employees, but how do you empower your employees to cut out the rest and focus on their goals and focus on their day-to-day tasks and work towards their daily goals, right? Rather than doing the same old mundane tasks which they get normally, right? How do you do that? So when I wanted to look at the story or how do I put it out there, I thought we'll look at different personas and see how it can be addressed. And then we will end up seeing how Freshservice, which is our ITSM tool, can actually enhance or empower the digital transformation journey. The first persona that I would like to see is obviously your employee, who is again, your employee can be a digital native, who's a fresh college pass out, is aware of all the digital, so to say, tech out there. And then there are people who have been there in the system. And when I mean employee, these might be your IT in the IT segment or outside the IT segment, right? You as as a board member or the CXOs, right? You have to see at how you can keep them on track and focus on the goals and cut out the rest. So how does an employee start in a company, right? From the day one, we have faced this, right? Every time you join a company, you have a set of processes to go through, you have your IT assets to come, and that's mostly, especially with COVID, you are even further behind, right? You do not have someone to go on physically. You're trying to call up a few people, trying to understand how processes are done. And on comes the normal processes which are there, right? For example, if you got your password, there are 5-6 systems or applications out there which you need to access, and I do not know how to reset a password. And then there are destabilized systems, which again, where they do not have, they might not have access to an Wi-Fi, they might not have access to some particular asset which they have. Who do they address to? Who do they go to? And all this piles up because it's a siloed environment. They are recruited by an HR, but IT needs to cater to them. This marketing, if he's getting into marketing, there are some particular assets or services that he needs to apply to. Where does he go, right? This actually elongates his adaptation journey into the company, or rather, for the company, it's like you are not realizing the value of an employee right there. So how can you shorten it? Of course, these problems will be there. How can you shorten that? So here are a few things that we did with our product, right? With Freshservice, we provide something called as an employee onboarding. So right from the day one, right, the time he gets entered into your system, we have something called as an employee onboarding. So he gets an access to your asset. He knows what are the services that he has links to. He knows, and if he needs something extra applications, he has a service catalog. So it's just like a consumer grade shopping experience for your new employee or to the existing employees. Since they have already done e-commerce shopping in today's world, it's much easier to adopt to. Today, I want Office 365 Teams to be adopted, to be access given to me. I don't reach out to any IT personnel. I go there, I place a request, and boom, my request is accepted. And apart from that, when it comes to your normal day-to-day mundane problems like Wi-Fi, password, and everything, we give them a self-service knowledge base. They do not need to call up a person and waste their half an hour, 45 minutes of time, or wait for a day for somebody to answer them. You have ready-made articles which they can refer to, and they work on it. And only if they do not, then probably they can reach out to your IT team. And of course, yes, we have the normal ITSM, and IT operations management part, where if they have any problem with their assets or anything, that can be addressed to. And the best part of it all, when you have siloed, siloed environments, siloed departments, how do you bring them together? You give them one tool to have an access to all those departments, be it HR, marketing, legal, right? That's why we call Freshservice as an enterprise service management tool. Today, if I want to reach out to someone in Freshworks that I am having a legal problem, I do not need to call up anyone. I do not need to have a lookup. I just go to my service. I just go to my Freshworks service portal, log in the request. I know which department I have to reach out to, and it gets auto assigned to them. And my query is addressed within a day or two. So that's something really which can enhance your employee experience, and they are the ones who are advocates for you outside the organization, right? And when you give them that kind of an enabler, these guys will work on the much strategic tasks rather than the day in, day out tasks, right? Let's jump on to something else. You'll have support agents, be it in the IT team, be it in the sales team, be it in the after sales team. You'll always have a support agent working on it. How do you give them time to work on their tasks and eliminate productivity inefficiencies in their day-to-day lives, and make them respond faster, react faster, and actually work on the processes which they need to be done, right? So let's see what an agent goes through. Like, he opens a system and he finds out a lot of pending tasks out there which he needs to have. And when your day starts like that, you really take a half an hour or an hour break to get it right? And then there are workflows. For example, if there's any request, he might have to reach out to a particular department, get it through them, get it vetted through them, and then probably work on that problem. Why does he have to manually intervene there, right? But still he has to in the current scenario in some of the cases. And then there is information. There are a lot of tickets coming in, and most of the times, most of them will be repetitive. And every task has to be worked on from ground zero, right? That's taking his time. If somebody has already worked on the problem, why not just refer that and have a quick fix over that? That's what makes his life tougher, right? Starting from ground zero on every problem, and everything has to be manually executed. That's the most painful part of it, because you have an end-to-end process where you have to manually intervene, and all this leads to overload of tasks. Of course, we do not want to have such a situation for our agents, right? And when I say, again, it's not an IT agent. You can have an agent across your support desk, right? So how can we eliminate this kind of stuff, right? We can give them a beautiful dashboard as soon as they enter into a platform, which is actually organized according to the priority, right? Or say if it's a high priority ticket, or if you have something which is a priority for your organization, you can always place it first. So he starts working from there. And then which are those mundane tasks he just has to push emails and ping pong those emails here and there. You can easily work those out of a workflow automator, so that he works on the problem and not on moving the emails here and there, right? And then again, how do we make it even more efficient? He has a canned response, or he has a ready-made response for the particular issue, adds his comments on it, and boom, within a minute or two, he just sends his response over there. So this is something that avoids your support agents to work on the same problem again and again. And of course, as soon as if you have a legacy non-AI powered ticketing software, obviously when you would realize that when there is a thank you, the ticket opens again, so the incident again is open, so the person again, or the agent again, has to go and log in and say, okay, this is closed. But we have AI embedded into our software, so as soon as it detects a thank you, your ticket is automatically closed. And how do we bring them that kind of joy to work on our software? We gamify it, right? We give them badges for the tasks they achieve, or the things they do better than the others. That brings in a healthy competition within the support agents. So this is how you can actually improve your support agent experience, right? Now, let's look at an admin experience, right? This is an IT manager actually has to look at the entire process end to end, right? What a guy has to do, what they have not done, look at the inefficiencies and work on it. So a day-to-day for an IT manager has a lot on his plate, because he has to satisfy his team. At the same time, he has to cater to the need of his management, right? There are a lot of things going on his plate. There might be the practices which might not be compliant to the rules or regulations that they have to work according to. There might be activities that are happening which they do not want to happen. How do they get to know that is it happening or not happening, or who is the actual person responsible for it? And as we said, right, this is a platform, this is a world which is very volatile, and you'll have one or the other new tech coming up. So if your current software do not work with the new technologies, or keeping up with the new technologies, then you end up working from zero on repeating the same task again and again on every software out there, right? So how, and today, if somebody does ask him that, I want this particular metric and report pulled out, where does he go? Does he have to go to 10 or 15 sources to get those metrics? And how, I mean, if that is the case, his entire job is to do this rather than working on the important part, more on the process part. How can he more efficiently put out the processes? How can he do that? And when we talk about processes, right, it is not just think of strategizing a process and implementing it. You need to know what are the flaws out there. So how do you test before putting it out there? These are some of the major problems which a manager in the IT department faces, right? So we as Freshworks provide a software which helps them actually ease all these things. So our software is HIPAA and GDPR compliant. So we rest assured that they are sticking to your IT, most of the IT guidelines which are laid out there. If they want to have a look at some of the activities that are done, you have audit logs out there which you can actually look at and see what has gone wrong and do a root cause analysis. And if there is any new thing coming up, or a new tech coming up, or a new application coming up, we have an extensive marketplace out there where it's just a click of a button, and you have integrated with the new platform, and you're good to go, right? You do not have to again go have a manual intervention, start from scratch out there. And you have, if somebody knows how to use a normal Excel sheet, he will have a powerful analytics dashboard in front of his laptop or desktop for that matter, right? It's just 2 or 3 clicks, and he can always get those metrics which the management or he has to produce to his team every day, day in, day out, right? So that's something we make their life easier. And the best part, if there's something new process that's coming up, instead of directly getting into the live environment, we give them a sandbox where they can actually play this out, see what are the flaws, get them tested from the other team members, and probably then release it to the environment, right? So these are some things that Freshservice does for easing your employee life, be it IT agent, administration, or an internal employee. And when I say I have just explored 3 personas, there might be different personas in your HR department, in your marketing department, or in your legal department, right? So I try to do it with the 3 personas right there. You can apply the same. But then what would be a goal for a company in the digital transformation journey, right? It might be either improving your IT service delivery or modernizing your IT, which actually both of these lead to a digital transformation, right? How do you do that? You adopt to your cloud technologies out there, which are there, and actually bring in your entire employees or internal customers to collaborate, work, use it as a base to actually, propel your company's business, right? So does it involve only IT when we talk about digital transformation? Freshworks decided no, that's not how digital transformation works. Digital transformation has an involvement of all the departments out there, be it HR, marketing, finance, and facilities. And Freshservice actually does that. We cater to each and every department. So we do not call ourselves as IT service management team. We call ourselves as enterprise service management team, right? So why should you go for Freshservice, right? We, when it comes to different departments, right, they have the independence to choose the features they want. They want only 1 particular or 2 particular features which they want out there, they can actually do that. What does it do? Actually enhances employee experience. And how do we do that? Because it's ridiculously easy. And when I say ridiculously easy, I bet on that today, if you sign up on our trial, you can actually configure and start using that software from day 1, right? That's how easy our UI is. Right, and we are, as we normally said previously, we can be easily integrated with other technologies. We have open APIs out there, and we pride ourselves in having the ease to set up. We have a faster time to market than any other competition software out there. So we are dependent on 4 major pillars. One is the ITSM, IT operations management, IT asset management, and enterprise service management. All this, along with our Freshworks platform capabilities of collaboration, APIs, marketplace, SDKs, analytics, and our AI-powered Freddy bot and the automation, actually helps you build a secure and scalable service for your employees, right? Now, when you cater to your employees and bring delight to them, you can be rest assured that your digital transformation journey is going to be a breeze, right? Any new tech comes in, you can actually use the software to propel that information, and any new things comes in, be it HR, marketing, IT, finance, facilities, anybody can comment on it and reach out and you guys can start working, right? That's what Freshservice can do for you. Now, I'll quickly sum up the 3 main things which I want to talk about Freshservice. It is intuitive. It's a consumer grade experience. I tell you, if somebody comes in within a week or 2, he can actually adopt to our software. It's intelligent. You can automate most of the processes out there, and you can integrate with, or it's extendable to most of the softwares which are present out there on the cloud today. Along with, while I'm saying this, you can also have look at some of the brands that we have in the Middle East and the Gulf region, right? These are, we pride ourselves in collaborating with them. They're using our software today. And what are the key takeaways when it comes to Freshservice, right? This is the slide that I love to talk about, because it doesn't have anything, and it's only what in the previous panel discussion, it was said that it's not about the software, right? It's about what value or how better the user is able to adapt to it and utilize it, right? That's why this slide brings the crux out of it. It's our softwares are delightful. You have an immediate adoption to the platform. You do not need any special training or certification for this. It's efficient. It delivers service managers and service management and customized workflows faster than any other software. And it has quick returns. And we have numbers to prove that, right? The Forrester report out there has said that we can achieve a 308% of ROI with a solution like this, with a faster MTTR and lower cost of operations, right? And this is not we are saying, this is what Forrester has said about us. So that's why this is something that I want you to keep in your mind. And with that said, that's all from my end. If you have any questions on a software, by the way, this is just an employee experience. We already have customer experience software, but since digital transformation journey starts from the employees, that's why we thought this will be the perfect platform to showcase this particular personas journeys and how Freshworks can help them propel the digital transformation journey. Over to you.